Hi, I'm Caron Hawco, president of the Caron Hawco Group.
Obviously, I understand that for St. John's, the ocean economy is a priority, a strategic long-term priority. Could you describe the ocean economy in the region? What makes it competitive as well for investors?
What's really interesting about the Newfoundland, and in particular the St. John's economy, is that it's so diverse. It touches almost all parts of our economy in one way or another. When you look at the offshore oil and gas industry, you've got a strong fishing industry. There's marine tech, ocean technology, and innovation. And it's a wonderful combination of entrepreneurialism, export orientation, but also innovation and a very strong academic community here as well. So it's a really nice combination of all these strengths that make a strong ocean economy. We are small, but we are mighty. And we have really been able to monetize and capture and build on the strengths that were just around us, being around the ocean. So when I work with companies from overseas and they come here and they'll go, like, we thought we were good on the ocean, and then we see Newfoundlanders and Labradorians on the ocean, and you've got just this skill set and this it's in our DNA to to flourish in this type of environment. So, you know, telling Canada, even telling ourselves the story, because I don't think sometimes even we understand how diversified our ocean economy is. When I say to people, did you know that Newfoundland and Labrador has one of the strongest ocean economies in Canada? There's silence. People go, wow, really? I said, honestly. And so we should be proud of that, and we should be telling the story, and also telling the story to attract further investment, but also collaboration and new innovations, because there's big global challenges out there right now, and I think that we have a spot in this opportunity to make things right.
Absolutely, and we'll delve into all of these points: innovation, talent, and of course investment in particular. I understand that St. John's is recognized as a city of ocean excellence. Can you explain what that means, and what kind of partnerships, what kind of collaborations make that possible?
What's been really interesting lately is around the Canada's Ocean Supercluster. So the industries around the ocean, say the fishing industry and the oil and gas industry, while they communicate, collaboration isn't always a part of their cultures. But with Canada's Ocean Supercluster, what we're seeing now is significant investment dollars going into research and development and innovation. But you're seeing these industry players, these industry giants, in fact, coming to the table, sharing their problems, and then collaborating to find solutions. So it's really advancing the innovation ecosystem here. Makes it very exciting and a great place to do business, in fact. And then you're also seeing the university and the academic institutions playing at the table as well. So this collaboration, investment dollars, and then activity. And what's really exciting is that we're seeing the ocean economy, or the blue economy, it will triple in size over the next 10 to 15 years. So with that kind of activity, it's really priming itself to address and go after these new global opportunities around the ocean.
I understand that the environment, including its harshness, are actually a key expertise area for the region.
Absolutely. It's our understanding of the cold ocean environment and the technologies that were needed to actually enable the offshore oil and gas industry. What was considered impossible to produce oil and gas in ice-infested waters with icebergs now is operational here. And we've been able to do that through the entrepreneurialism and the innovation and the skill and education that we brought to the table to just open up that opportunity for the province, and then that just sort of set the path for other innovations and other economic activity.
I'm wondering, at a time when there is also a lot of competition for talent all around the world, what is the availability of talent in St. John's ocean economy, in tech, for instance, or in other areas?
We've got a strong foundation and a highly skilled and educated population when it comes to the ocean industries. And so thankfully we've been able to build our economy around this. However, there are still challenges. We have an aging population, for example. And so what we see now is the university, Memorial University, successfully reaching out to international students and attracting them here to get an education. We're seeing our governments being responsive with immigration policy, because we know that we need to have a more diverse population to sustain our economy, in fact. So we're seeing a lot of activity. I'm also involved with TechNL, and we've identified that tech talent and development and retention is a priority for the tech industry. So there's a lot of collaboration going on between the various sectors and our governments and the academic institutions to really have a good conversation around this and how are we going to grow our population to sustain our economy going forward. And that's not only a Newfoundland and Labrador problem. I do believe that's a Canadian problem.
You mentioned innovation and tech, and we talked earlier about, the harsh environment kind of technologies being exported around the world. Is there one or two technologies that you're particularly excited about, that you see as holding, the most promise for St. John and, of course, for Canada?
It's many, in fact, but it's really around the ocean environment characterization and remote sensing, looking at autonomous vehicles and looking at environmental genomics, for example. And we've got companies here that are working on 3D modeling for shipbuilding, supporting Canada's Coast Guard and the National Shipbuilding Strategy. And so there are many different areas, and it's all starting to become so diversified. Still that common theme around the blue economy, but just various enabling technologies to help foster, activity on the ocean and resource development, for example, subsea technologies. Is there one? I go, gosh, it's moving so fast here these days with regards to this that there are several that I watch right now. Kraken, for example, with its sensor and robotics technology for subsea operations. Genoa Design International, eDNA Tech, like Virtual Marine. They're doing simulated marine training, for example. So just lots of really interesting pots that make for a good investment community. What's really interesting around that one is that, eDNA Tech is the name of the company, and they actually take water samples from the ocean and they sequence it through some of the best technology that you can buy on the planet. And then you're able to get a higher resolution of data. And so there's a granular data points that you can get from this, and it really tells you everything that's going on and what organisms are in the water in that particular sample. So it's going to revolutionize, I believe, environmental monitoring. There are possible applications around carbon sequestration in mangroves and eelgrass. They're looking at that right now. So a lot of different types of applications where you can use DNA sequencing to identify all organisms that are in the water at that point.
I was going to ask you, so can you explain how all this innovation and that ecosystem help attract foreign direct investment?
It's interesting, because we saw a tremendous growth in our economy around offshore oil and gas. And these were global investors that came into the province and built, a whole new economy for us, a new sector for us. And when you have companies like ExxonMobil and Equinor from Norway and these significant investors, with them comes the tier one contractors and these global contractors that made significant investments. We now are seeing that in aquaculture, for example. So some of the world's largest aquaculture companies are now making significant investments here in Newfoundland because we've got a lot of area that you can actually do fish farming. So that's the type of investment that we've experienced, and from that, which is really interesting, especially around oil and gas, because of the requirements here, they made hundreds of millions of dollars in research and development investments. So then you've got other investors coming in looking to collaborate and add to that R&D ecosystem. So lots of different areas, all sector driven, that are now coming together because of the ocean supercluster, and now attracting even more outside investment and interest.
We're going to wrap up, but I want to ask you to give me maybe 30 seconds on each of these next quick questions in terms of the role of key stakeholders to improve the investment attractiveness of St. John's ocean economy. So first, and perhaps foremost, the government.
Tell the story. Help us tell the story. We need to really articulate our value proposition to the world. And it's also about helping us help Canada in terms of its climate change ambitions. So Canada is now, through its budget, going to be investing significant amounts of money. Help our business community help you. Help our innovation community help you. How can we collaborate to add value? So help us tell the story within Canada and then globally.
And of course, that's what Invest in Canada is doing through this partnership with us. But of course, more of that would be welcome, I'm sure. What about academia?
Academia here, because of our strong technology orientation around around our business community, that collaboration can always be stronger, fostering it more academic, private, public partnerships. We're seeing a lot more of that over the last number of years because the oil and gas industry has significantly invested, and actually the mining community as well, into the growth of our academic community here. And we're also seeing a lot of founders with some really interesting technologies, and seeing that coming together with the entrepreneurial ecosystem or vibe that happens here. We'd like to see more of that.
That's great to hear. And what about the not-for-profit sector?
For me, the not-for-profit sector has really advanced and grown as a result of the growth of our economy here, because you see the big corporations investing in the not-for-profit community in particular. So you're seeing a lot more of these types of supports. And the other part of the not-for-profit community that I'm very active in is the industry associations. And seeing more collaboration, seeing more supports for our business community, and really helping us tell the story around the ocean economy and helping us get primed. Because I look at COVID right now going, we got to get ready and get primed when the marketplace opens again. How are we going to come together? And this is government, the academia, our business community, and the not-for-profits. How do we now join forces, look at that marketplace out there, and really go laser sharp out to seeking the opportunities that we really should be able to capture?